Hi, thanks for joining us. My name is Dave Champetro with the Siemon Company Technical Services, and in this video I'll be covering the terminations of our UltraMAX outlet. Let's get started.
Here we have the UltraMAX hybrid outlet. This version can be mounted into a faceplate in either the flat or angled orientation. I'll show you what that looks like. We also offer a keystone version. This red bezel here is a little bit different than the hybrid. As you can see, it's compatible with standard keystone openings. And this version, which doesn't have any bezel on there at all, is what we call the panel mount style. And this is designed specifically for the UltraMAX patch panels. It just snaps into the patch panel cavities. You can see how that works on a separate UltraMAX patch panel video. Today I'll be featuring the hybrid version. There's also a termination cap that gets installed after termination. I'll show you how that goes on. Now all versions are available in Category 5E, Category 6, and Category 6A unshielded only. The tools that are required, first of all, we highly recommend the PowerGUARD insert for outlet stability during the punch-down process. Any of the three versions will fit into this cavity and give you some stability for both lacing and punching down with a punch-down tool. Any standard 110 punch-down tool will work on any of the versions. We do also offer a 4-pair high-impact tool. This is designed specifically for the UltraMAX product, and this is primarily for punching down on the back of the loaded patch panels, but it could also be used on the terminations with the outlet mounted in the PowerGUARD insert. We just highly recommend that you keep it on a flat, stable surface when you use this tool, as opposed to holding it in your hand, which can be done, but probably not as safe this way. So flat, stable surface is best practice for using this tool. Again, primarily for the loaded patch panel option. Today I'll show you the termination with the 110 single position tool. There's actually a separate UltraMAX video that covers the 4-pair impact tool for anyone interested in learning more about the use of that tool. Now you might be wondering what some of these other features are here on the PowerGUARD insert. So these two recessed areas are for cable entry. I'll show you how that works. This opening here is for inserting the termination cap, so a little storage spot so you don't lose that during the lacing. And then this last opening here is for a screw mount, so you can attach this to the vertical rail of a rack or cabinet, so you can free your hands up for termination, so that makes it a little bit easier. The other option for using this PowerGUARD insert is to install it into the actual PowerGUARD itself, which is what this accessory is here. So again, optional, but some people like to terminate into the palm of their hand, so they can install the PowerGUARD here, and then the insert itself will go into the PowerGUARD. So you can just press that into place like so, and this will give you a little more ergonomic footprint and protection for punching into the palm of your hand. I'll just use the insert today without the PowerGUARD. Now if you notice the latch of the hybrid version getting caught when inserting into the insert, you can simply depress this latch, or the other option is to angle it into position to clear the latch, so either way would work fine. I have 3 cable types here. This larger one is the Category 6A. This is the 5E. I'll show the termination with this one, the Category 6. So as mentioned, 3 unshielded categories to choose from with UltraMAX. Trim off the center isolator, being careful not to nick your conductors. These lacing channels and IDC contacts will accept a range of conductor sizes. The most common will be 23 or 24 gauge solid, but will also accept the conductors as small as 26 gauge stranded or as large as 22 gauge solid, depending on the insulation thickness. Now you'll notice universal A or B wiring scheme is labeled on the back here. You can choose the T568A or T568B scheme. And this linear lacing design is very similar to our ZMAX module, which has the same linear lacing pattern. If you choose the B scheme, follow the colors on the side of the module here. If terminating to the A scheme, simply follow the colors on the A side. As you can see, the brown and the blue are always the same. It's just the green and the orange that get swapped. So the cable can enter either direction. It doesn't matter which wire scheme you're using. So you can see that the slots are colored. Let's zoom in here a little closer. The colors are printed across the center of the slots. There's a wider band, as you can see, for the brown or the solid brown, and then a narrow band for the white brown, and so on for the blue, the orange, and the green. I'll do the B scheme here for you today, so the cable can enter in either direction, as I mentioned. And since I'm right-handed today, I'll just show you the cable coming in from the left side here. First, get your conductors arranged accordingly. So you can see for the B scheme, the outside pair is orange, as it corresponds to the colors on the B side. Orange toward me, then the green, followed by the blue, then the brown. So the slots here are designed to capture the cable jacket and guide the cable into place to the termination point. You do want the jacket edge to be fairly close to the termination point, within about a ½ inch for best performance. So you can see the solid brown should be first, starting at the top. So just open up the pair a little bit and lace it into the slot. Same with the blue. You'll feel it pop down into place when you're lacing. And then again for the B scheme, make sure you're going green next. So the way I'm holding this, the whites are all toward me, which makes it a little more intuitive color pattern to follow. Then finally the orange pair, just double check all the conductors, make sure they're pressed down completely into the correct slots. Okay, now you're ready to punch this down. Again, you can punch on a flat surface or in the palm of your hand with this tool. Make sure the cutting side of the tool is arranged properly. 1 or 2 punches should be sufficient. Just try and make sure you're as perpendicular as possible when you punch down. And by the way, you could use either the high or the low impact setting on these tools if you have that option. Either one is fine. Okay, there you have your termination. And by the way, this cable, as I mentioned, can enter in either direction, but in a patch panel scenario, you would want to tilt the cable to come straight back for securing to the wire manager, of course. But in a workstation environment, the cable can go up, down, left, right, virtually any direction. You may just want to decide ahead of time which side will work best for cable entry to accommodate your pathway direction. The termination cap is your last step. This will just snap into place. It's not keyed, so it'll fit either orientation. And this will provide some additional strain relief and keep your conductors in place. Now, if the cap's not snapping on securely, may be that the conductors weren't punched down completely, so give those a quick look and maybe repunch those to make sure that cap's going on properly. I'll share one last thing on installation into the faceplate. I have a 2-port plate here, so for comparison, this jack here is the current Max series. The new UltraMAX series uses the same plate and is very similar as far as the depth. We offer both a flat and angled version with the Max series. The one I've got mounted here is the flat mount version that actually requires a colored icon tab to secure this into place. Now, one of the nice features with the UltraMAX, the hybrid version has the same front bezel as the ZMAX series. So no icon is required for securing, and this type of bezel actually allows you to snap the outlet into a faceplate in either a flat orientation Or using the same jack, just flip it over and it can be installed in a 45-degree angled orientation. So you don't have to worry about buying a specific flat or angle mount version like you do with the Max series. And one final tip with the hybrid version, these can enter the plate from either the front or the back. Entering from the back is just a matter of catching the latch in the right spot here, as you can see. This allows the jack to clear the bottom latch and swing into position. Now, if you're installing the optional color icons, these come in an icon card set with red, blue, and a color meshed icon that you can choose and pop out. So these just snap into one of the two recessed cavities. For the flat mount, you would install here. But with the angle mount, it makes more sense to move that to that upper recess position for better line of sight.
For more information on the UltraMAX product line, visit Siemon.com. Thanks for joining us.